permission is hello everybody. Welcome back. And my friends all over the world. So there is a continuation of the meditation series, what we're doing for the past few months. And today the topic we are going to discuss is called stress. Stress is the most common problem in the world. We all have stress, and stress is needed. Stress is needed to survive, but excess stress leads to problems. That's where the meditation falls in. I'm going to share with you a few important pearls about how the meditation is going to work and stress. And that will be followed by a small demonstration how you could become an observer of your stress. When you become an observer of your stress, you are detached from your stress. Just imagine you got something in your life that is really troubling you, and you become dissociated with it at one point. You are not in it, you are not it, you are not pulled by it. Just imagine how will your life be. And for this, you did not go to any physician, you did not take any medications, you did not stand upside down. No, not needed. Few simple things can really work how to calm you down, because stress is where your sympathetic system is very high, sky high. It keeps your heart going, it keeps your respiration going too fast. You can't think. As you know, the stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline, noradrenaline, what they do, they decrease your cognition. You cannot think properly. The brain becomes foggy and you get confused and you don't know what to do at that point. And you may freeze sometimes. So that's the mechanism of sympathetic system. And just imagine when we get that sympathetic system down, heart rate goes down, respiration goes down, and all the bodily functions goes down in such a way, it quiets the body. As the body quiets, the mind quiets. When the mind quiets, you get a clarity of thought. How you could do that is that you could do any time of the day. It's not necessary you got to do in the morning or evening, because we normally say either you do early in the morning or late in the evening, only because those are the times where the transition from night to morning and again from daytime to night happens. And these transition times are very good because the brain waves, which is most predominant in the daytime, slowly goes down, and slowly the nighttime brainwave picks up. And that's the transient movement that really works. So twilight, early in the morning, these are good times to do the meditation. But you could also do small micro sit-ups, maybe in the daytime when you're free at work, or maybe you're in the park or in the garden, sitting alone, enjoying the nature. That really works. And again, when we talk about meditation, it's not that you should take a certification course or maybe many classes to do meditation, not necessary. You can do all the meditation by yourself. You don't need anybody to teach you also, because you're adults. The adults learn by experience, not by theory. We learn by experience. We want to experience it because we are adults. Nobody commands us. We learn it ourselves. That's the difference between the learning of a child and adult. So today I'm going to share with you a couple of slides and have a look at that. It'll give you an idea what is stress, what happens in stress, and how meditation can help stress. So I'm going to share a couple of slides. Then we can go from there. But as you look at stress, we all have stress. And stress starts right away when you're born. You cry when you're born. When you're born, you come out of the warm womb full of amniotic fluid. You're pushed out into the world, which is cold. All of a sudden, you see dark lights everywhere, bright lights focusing on you, maybe a few people looking at you. Then the first thing you do, you cry. That is the first stress you have. And this stress, it goes on throughout your life. And I just want to show you one slide about how the stress really affects you and what is stress. This I've used before in my lectures in the federation or associations. So stress, there is a trigger for stress. There is a trigger for stress. Everybody says, I'm stressed, I'm stressed, I'm stressed. But what are you stressed of? There is something that really stresses you, some factor. These are few things. Emotional conflict is the most common stuff we see. And uncertainty, fear is another stuff. Work pressure, most of the adolescents have it when they join the new work, and most they have also in the midlife where they are supposed to work and they are no more interested in the work. And the overload of responsibilities, that's under stress. People, the codependency is very common in the world. You'll find at least 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 6 having codependency. So there should be a trigger for stress. And this trigger, it varies from person to person. I can take certain amount of stress, other person cannot take that amount. She may take a little more of that. So it depends upon person to person again. And what happens when stress hits you? Now the stress response is activated. What happens? Cortisol adrenaline release, go into fight, flight, freeze, or there is another fourth one which are not added here called as fawn, FAWN. And then rapid thinking. Multiple thoughts appear when you're stressed. Oh, I should do that. I must have done this. I must have done that. What will happen to me? What will happen to them? And then your muscle goes into tension. So the body becomes so tense. You sweat. You cannot do anything. And then the shallow breathing happens. When you do the shallow breathing, the carbon dioxide goes up. And that causes alkalosis if it is very deep. And then emotional reactivity. You immediately react. You won't even think. And pay attention, I did not say respond, I said emotional reactivity, because respond is the one you think and do, and react is the one you do right away without knowing what you're doing. So if unregulated, chronic stress loops form. It leads to the rumination, overthinking, hypervigilance, always on alert. So something catastrophic can happen, something bad can happen, expecting the most unwanted things in the world, sleep disturbances, you can't sleep properly because you're overthinking all the time. You cannot close the books when you go to bed. And then there's a fatigue, there's a burnout, and the reduced clarity of thought. You cannot think anymore properly. And if it goes on and on, more stress accumulation. And this chronic stress is the most dangerous stuff for all of us. When you get to the chronic stress loop, that becomes a permanent pathway in the brain. And what meditation does, I said intervention because it is an intervention, meditation intervention, if it is going to address one specific thing, like stress, anxiety, tension, anger, all these, the meditation can really work. So the breath awareness, just imagine breath, air, free of cost. You don't do anything at all. Right from the time you're born till you die, you just breathe in air and breathe out, the carbon dioxide. Just imagine this oxygen is so free for us in this world. And we should take advantage of that. That's the most important part of it. Breath awareness itself is enough to calm you down from stress, to decrease all the hormones, all the metabolic things going on in the body, to give you clarity of thought, to decrease the tension in the body, make body relaxed. And again, the present moment focus. That's what we do in meditation. Present moment focus. That's what we do. In other words, what happens is that the external awareness decreases and the internal awareness increases. That's what exactly happens when you do meditation. And the body awareness, breath awareness, present moment awareness, and body awareness, those are all called the mindful presence. The presence, that is, you are present today at this moment on the other end of the computer, you are at the present moment. And observer consciousness. This is what I do normally, but I added this because this really works. You got to witness your thoughts without reaction. How can you become an observer, aware of your thoughts, but not getting pulled by it? And the nervous system shifts towards parasympathetic state. So what's the parasympathetic state? Heart rate slows, breathing deepens, muscles relax, cortisol level stabilizes, and emotional space increases. In other words, you can imagine this space as a space that has been created between the awareness of the stimuli and the response. And that space is the space which allows you to calm down without reacting. And the outcomes are reduced stress activity, the improved emotional regulation, the better sleep, increased focus and clarity, greater resilience, and the sense of inner calm and presence. So this is a kind of a vague idea about what is stress and how meditation can help the stress. So having seen this, I'm just going to stop sharing for a minute. So stress is needed. Every human being needs stress. Without stress, we cannot survive. Because from the primitive days, we are surviving only because of stress. Because the primitive man, if he was facing a tiger, a saber-tooth tiger, or maybe a mammoth, uh, either he has got only two choices. He has got to run away, he has got to fight. Sometimes he used to fight. If the animal was small, he could handle it easily. If he cannot, he will run away. That's called the fight or flight. And in this process, when he was fleeing away, he thought, how to survive if this happens again? So he started inventing tools, spears, just crude stone spears. So he invented tools how he can go and fight so that he did not flee again. So that's how we learn. The stress is inborn in all of us. All humans have stress. And stress starts from birth. I normally divide that into three stages. Uh, from birth to 5 years, from 5 to 9 years, and 9 to 16 years. And if you see the development wise, that is where we accumulate all the stress. It comes from childhood. it accumulates. And it has commonly all the three will end up with either fight, flight, freeze, or fawn when they become adults. When they become adults, they will have the fight or flight, very common, and flight, you will not see that they will run away, they will avoid the situation. They want to be away from situation. They don't want to face the situation. They try to mask themselves. Oh, this is flight. Flight does not mean they got to go to a room and lock themselves up because people take it wrong. They cannot. And people who want to fight, they will stand there and they will say, I'm going to face it. I can face it. And freeze. This is a situation that now you come across that situation. What happens? You freeze. You can't even think. Whole brain gets so confused. You don't know how to respond, and then you're frozen for some time, and then you slowly distract yourself away from that situation. Slowly you want to come out of the freeze situation. And this freezing is very common. And this freezing also happens in people who think that they've got ADD, but most of them don't have, where there is a cognition overload on the conscious mind. So it shuts off and they feel they cannot do, they don't know what to do. And fawning is people pleasing. This another the mechanism. It is a kind of a protective mechanism. So they get a fear immediately. They'll be smiling. They will be laughing. They'll be telling you some jokes because they're going to overcome that particular thing that they don't want to face. So that's how you see in adults how you can recognize the situations like where the sympathetic system is high. So having said that, we will do a small practice on this, how to do the meditation for stress. And remember, it is not just breathing in and breathing out. I'm going to ask you to visualize a couple of things. And then I want you to imagine a couple of things. I know that many people cannot visualize because there is a situation called as aphantasia where they cannot visualize. So you'll be imagining a couple of things where it'll be like as if you're just watching a movie on the screen. So because why I do that is that it's just to narrow your focus because you cannot just be focusing on your breath. You'll be distracted. That's not possible. It's not that easy as people think. So we are going to do a small demonstration about how to overcome the stress by the meditation. And I'm going to share some music that's going to help us to narrow our focus and how to turn our attention internally. So let me share this music with you. It's not that music is a must, not necessary, but there are certain waves that can be created by music. And these waves, they coincide with our brain waves. When it coincides with brain waves, receptivity is more, and you can narrow your attention and focus and turn your awareness inwards. That's what we do. And it's just going to share this one. And these waves, they come out like a music, but actually they are coinciding with your theta waves. And it may go into delta waves also, can create that effect too. So let's start the meditation because all I want you to do is that sit comfortably first with your feet on the ground and wherever you walk, on your chair, in your bed, couch. The first principle is that to sit comfortably. because there might be some physical barriers, some sensations. We are going to overcome that. And whenever you're ready, just close your eyes and take a deep breath. Breath in and breathe out. Just notice the points of contact of your body on the surface you're sitting, contacts, maybe more pressures at the hips, more pressure in the shoulders. And now pay attention to the sounds around you. Sounds near and sounds far away. And I want you to feel the air in your robe, the contact of the air with the skin on the face, on your arms, hands, feet. I want you to feel the fabric of your clothing. It will rough at one place, cool at one place. And behind those closed eyelids, you might be seeing some lights, signs, some symbols, and some random thoughts. And all these senses, they are reassuring you that you're grounded in the present moment. And slowly get back your awareness back to the breathing. I want you to observe how the air moves in and the way it moves out. As the air moves in and moves out, just imagine a wave of relaxation passing from the top of your head, passing down to your forehead, relaxing it. And those tiny muscles around your eyes, relaxed. And the wave moves down your cheek, your jaw, unclenched, your neck, your shoulders, where you hold most of the stress. Allow them to sink a little deeper onto the surface that is supporting you. And now the wave passes on to the arms, forearms, wrists, hands, relaxing every muscle, every fiber on the way. Perhaps you could feel some tingling in your fingertips, some sensations. And the wave now passes down to your chest, spreading calmness and comfort to your heart. And now it moves down to your stomach, where you hold all the emotions, calming it, comforting it. And now the waves moves down your hips, thighs, knees, legs, ankle, toes. As you take the breath in and out, every breath out takes a little more stress out of your body, leaving behind relaxation, calmness. As you pay attention to the breath, some thoughts may come up, and let them come. Let them be there. You need not change anything. Let the thought come. Let them be there. No need to change. No need to fix. No need to resist it. Let them exist. I want you to just observe the thoughts. And there is a part of you. There's a part of you that always it watches everything. It does not judge anything. It observes, it notices, it watches. That's your inner witness. And now that inner witness is observing the thoughts. Next, you might get some emotion. No need to push them away. No need to ignore them. Let them exist. And your inner soul, your inner wisdom, just observe the emotion. And thoughts. Just think of thoughts as clouds in the sky. Some are dark, dense, scary, and some are light, and some fast, some slow. But the sky does not chase the clouds. Just as the sky, you are the awareness. You are aware of your thoughts, but not being pulled into it. Now, I want to think about, I want you to think about a stressful situation you must have come across that have been really bothering you. Not the scene, not the place, just the feeling. The feeling you got when you were stressed. Just bring up that feeling. Not to relive your stressful situation, not the place, just the feeling, that stressful feeling you had. You need not judge it. You need not force it. Just observe. Just observe that stressful emotion you had, stressful feeling you had. Just observe it. And when you observe it, you know that you're not in it. You are not it, and you're not pulled by it. Just look at the situation. Notice it. Observe it. That's your awareness. That's your awareness observing distress. And now a step further. As you are observing distress, you already know that you are out of it. In the same way, you observe the thoughts, you observe the emotions, you observe stress. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are not even the stress itself. You are not in them. Now you can tell this to yourself in your mind calmly. I am not my thoughts. I am not my emotions. I am not my stress. I am the awareness, all of them. I can observe my stress without being pulled into it. I am not in it. And just imagine yourself now. You're sitting beside a stream of water, maybe a river, maybe flowing water. And this water, it has thoughts, emotions, stress floating on it. And as you sit, you just observe them passing by in the stream without getting pulled into it. You can see that water flowing by your side. It's carrying all the stress, thoughts, emotions. maybe unwanted burden you've been carrying all the time. And from now on, you shall be an observer of your stress, observer of your thoughts, emotions, sensations. As you keep observing, slowly get back your attention to your breathing, the way the air moves in and the way the air moves out. Slowly become aware of your own inner rhythm, feeling the rhythm of the breathing, feeling the rhythm of your heart. Slowly bring your awareness to your body. Feel the body again on the surface, the points of contact of the body with the surface, the contact of air with your skin, and the contact of feet on the floor. And slowly you can go ahead with micro movements of your toes and fingers. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes, take a deep breath, and get oriented to the room. So that was a small demonstration, but you could change it. It's not that you should do exactly the same thing as what I demonstrated. Because what I do normally is that I also add a little bit of hypnotherapy in that, so that helps the client really much. So that's what I do. But you could do without all these visualizations. It's not even necessary, but think of stress, that you are observing the stress. When you observe something, what happens? You know that you are not in it. You are just watching a ball game. You are observing the ball game. Now imagine you playing the ball game and observing the ball game. If you are in the ball game, you're going to fight around how to hit the ball to the goal. But when you're outside, you can watch. If somebody misses the goal, they can also comment, well, that's not a good shot. We did not aim properly. So now imagine that situation. You are not in it, you are outside it. When you're outside it, your perspective changes. Perspective changes to a third person. And now you realize most probably the stress is not that important. I should not pay attention. I should not get pulled into it. I should not be engaged in it. To say all this is very easy, but to practice it takes lots of time. So take this as your first step towards improving yourself. When I say improving yourself, people take it wrongly. Improving yourself does not mean that you should get $1 billion tomorrow. No, that's not right. And you should, and that you want to become some big leader in a minute. No, you cannot become an astronaut. Improvement means how to improve your thoughts, how to improve your feelings, how to improve your stress, how to improve your daily life. That is important. Because when they say improve, they always think, oh my God, I should get a big job. I should be getting billions of dollars. Not necessary. That is not the improvement. What we are talking here is the personal transformation. How you can change the train of thoughts, how you can change the feelings, how you can change, how you can convert the whole stress into relief. Think about that, how it really helps. Because stress is needed, but chronic stress leads to distress. And before I end, I just want to add a few things is that, do you know that stress can change your chromosomes? That's called epigenetics. And if it's a chronic stress, it leads to certain changes in chromosome. It does not change your DNA, it does not change your RNA. It just changes the structure of the chromosome, called as histones, or their small things. They get twisted. And when they twist, your adaptation to stress changes. And this can go from generation to generation, from mother to daughter, daughter to daughter, daughter to son. It can go from generation to generation. This has been proved beyond doubt and is called as epigenetics, EPI genetics. That came out maybe 10 years back. Maybe I'm wrong. It may be from a long time also. You could read about it. Chronic stress will change the chromosome structure, not the components. Again, I'm telling you structure, just the twisting of the chromosomes around the histones. And this is enough to cause a problem. And this chronic stress, if it is repeatedly going, then you end up with freeze, where you cannot do anything at certain point, and you come across situation. So there are a lot more to it, because you got. I also I've talked about how the brains, the development happens, and each part of the stress in childhood, school age, and teenage, which part of the brain gets affected most, and it all creates the same thing again. It leads you to either fight or flight or fawn and freeze. So these are four things quite common. And we should know that we are all now in this situation, this world, because we went through a lot of stress. And the only thing is that we can we can slowly change it. We can change ourselves not to become stressful in situations where we used to be stressful, because that helps a lot. And also, you should know that stress has got a detrimental effect on human beings' health. It can cause heart problems, it can cause lung problems, it can cause brain problems. And also now it can cause a disaster in your life, where you cannot do anything, you cannot maintain relationships, you cannot do anything, you cannot create new relationships sometimes. These are quite common stuff that happens with stress. So that is in short the lecture about stress, because I've got a habit of talking too much sometimes. But that's what we have about stress today. And this meditation is a kind of hypno meditation, where we introduce some concept of hypnosis also in that, because why I introduce that concept is that that will start creating a pathway in your mind. And you should know that to create one pathway in your mind, the neuroplasticity takes about 63 days, according to latest research. So possibly, if you do this every day for about 3 months, you'll find a change. You'll find a change in your way you think about thoughts, emotions, because every stress will have an emotion behind it, and every emotion will have a thought behind it. And there is some stressor for everybody in life. Even a smoker won't smoke for fun. Something is stressing him again. If you ever, even alcoholic won't drink like that. There is some stress behind, there is some inciting trigger behind that is causing him. So just imagine, most of the people, they address only the smoking cessation and alcohol. But when you think about the cause, what's causing it? Stress. Help them resolve the stress, and help them decrease the amount of cigarettes and amount of drinks in life. that gives a compounded effect. And that's how most of the therapy works. So to conclude today, thank you for hearing, thank you for listening, because I must stretch it a little bit. It may be too much sometimes. So in short, try to decrease your stress. Face the stress, thinking you're just going to observe it. I am not in it. I am not going to be pulled by it. And the stress could be anything. And this stress must have been, maybe you may be carrying the stress for a long time. So it's time you get detached from stress. Look at it as a third person. It's not you. You're not in it. It's just like the ball game I explained to you. Your whole situation changes. When you watch the ball game, you're a different person. When you are in the ball game, that's a different person. You'll be fighting there with the ball. But as you observe, you don't. You just observe it. It's a game. You're playing a game. Just leave it there and you're done. So with that, I'll conclude. Thank you very much for listening. I really appreciate everybody listening to this. And with this, maybe we'll come to a conclusion. You can stop the recording, Angel, so that now
Thank you, Sam. It was a great
yeah,
presentation, and I welcome
yeah, okay.
everyone to join our meetings. And we have a great price. It's free, so you can get better than this. So please feel free to join our meetings. Our future meeting is going to be about anxiety. So I hope you enjoyed Sam's presentation on stress. So thank you, and have a lovely day, evening.